Rock stars, Eric Andres, your guitar sage, here for another YGS Reacts, this time on what hurdle you've overcome on the guitar that once seemed impossible. Okay, so we got 76 comments on this, really cool, and you're gonna notice some patterns here. Okay, basically what I asked in this is, what did you think that was just impossible to do that you're now able to do? And I really thought about this one because I wanted to have something that encouraged folks, because I want you to go through this thread. Okay, if you haven't seen this, I want you to go watch that video afterwards and read the comments. More importantly, read the comments. You don't have to watch the video, just read the comments, because you're going to see the ones that I'm talking about here are so powerful, and it's very enlightening, and it's really going to get you to understand that there's nothing that you cannot do on the guitar. You can do anything on the guitar. There's a ton of people here that have had the same hurdles that you have. They've overcome them, and that is proof. Okay, just like the guy who ran the first 4-minute mile and everybody said it was impossible, and as soon as he ran the 4-minute mile, guess what happened? A bunch of people ran the 4-minute mile because that opened up their mind to the possibilities. So open up your mind to the possibilities. You can do anything on the guitar. You can do it. You need the resources. You need to do the practice. So here we go. What hurdles you thought were impossible that you've overcome? So I saw a lot of stuff about bar chords. Here, peer-to-peer networking is saying bar chords and playing Eric Clapton's Heaven. And you're going to find that there are a lot of bits about bar chords on here. Krusty Buzzard is saying there's so many it's impossible to name all of them. And I ran into this myself growing up, is one of the things that I thought was so fascinating, is that as I started playing guitar and I realized, oh, I can do that now, and I can do that now, and I can do that now. Wow. And really what I realized was these were all things that I thought were impossible, and now all of a sudden I'm able to do them with relative ease. So me too. So many of them, it's impossible, you know. Joe Ninja Master is saying finger picking was always a far distant dream for me. Now actually able to do it. I still have a lot of practicing to do though. Okay, so again, it's like you see this continuum and you say, okay, well, here's my dream, and I'm over here, and this is way too far away, and then eventually you get really close to it. You know, you may not be all the way up to it, the dream quite yet, but you're so close to it that you realize, okay, this is happening, but this is where I want to get. Remember, we're always on a continuum, okay? Don't think about it as yes or no, or impossible or not impossible. We're on a continuum, and everything's possible, okay? Okay, great. Another one, T-Cart saying bar chords, they seemed impossible at first. Thanks for the effing F chord lesson. So I have a lesson here on YouTube called the effing F chord, E-F-F-I-N-G, F chord. If you don't know how to do bar chords, watch that video. It helps. It will help you in ways that you have never thought. Okay, seriously, it's going to help a ton. Okay, being thrown, so Harold Oren is saying, being thrown to the wolves by my high school band director by being told I was going to be the guitar player in our jazz band after playing for only 1 year. Practiced like crazy and took about 6 lessons, practice. Indeed, whenever you're in the pressure cooker, most people will respond, okay? Have you ever had a term paper due and you waited till the night before? Wow, what is it, just the stars lined up and everybody was doing it the night before? Or is that because the pressure was on and that's when you rubber hit the road? So I've had this before where I auditioned for some band and maybe I didn't think I was going to get it, but I was going in there to practice auditioning and to get the jitters out and that sort of thing, and I got it, and now all of a sudden I have to learn 60 songs. I've been in this place before, and guess what happens? You learn 60 songs. You get in there, the heat's on, the pressure's on, and you do it. So for sure, that is something that helps a lot. Okay, all right, I see some really fun ones here. 5-string sweeping, okay, sweep picking. I have videos on this here on YouTube. Type in YourGuitarSage sweeping. But this is what Marcus Harris said. What a pain in the ass. After a month of sweep practice, I just stopped putting so much focus on it and practiced about 10 minutes at most every time. Once you stay consistent, it just happens and it feels awesome. Thank you, Marcus, for writing that. Indeed, 100%. It's that consistent practice every single day, okay? Great, great, great. So Dave is saying the biggest hurdle that I'm still trying to overcome is how to translate what I hear in my head to the fretboard. Ear training, practice, and learning some theory is helping. Indeed, the two go hand in hand, and the ear is something that people think, well, you're just born with that. I can't practice that. Nope, it's totally developed. 100% of it is developed. You're not born with an ear that just knows music. You learn through labels, through theory, through understanding, through listening. So 100% is all learned. Great stuff. I mean, we got so many great responses here. Nicholas McClain is saying, mostly with strumming. I'm still somewhat new to guitar, but everything is challenging at first. You just have to practice, right, and learn from the mistakes and other guitarists. I find a lot of my tonic scales or whatever on Pinterest. Wow, how about that? Just like you said, Eric, got to have your resources. Indeed, if you have the resources and you practice, you cannot fail. It's only two things. Got to have resources, meaning lessons or some information, someplace to get the information. Luckily for us, we've got the internet where there's a glut of information, but now you got to get the right information. That's the problem now, is like you got a billion people teaching guitar. Are you being taught by someone who knows what they're talking about and is encouraging to you? Very, very important. There's a lot of great teachers out there, and there's a lot of not good teachers out there. There's just a lot of all out there, and you got to practice. Okay, just learning stuff isn't just learning it's not going to help. You got to apply it. Okay, Sporty2002 at hotmail.com, not that that's their email or anything, is saying, the B minor bar chord. I stayed away from anything with bar chords, but B minor kept showing up, so I focused on it and practiced that chord till I could nail it in the dark. Now bar chords aren't so scary. Do you have problems with bar chords, my friends? Guess what? Everybody did. Hendrix did. Joe Pass did. Eddie Van Halen did. Everybody had problems with bar chords at first. It's not natural. Playing guitar is not natural. You gotta practice, and you can get it. I say that to encourage you. You can do this, okay? Wendy Isles is saying strumming, as in trying to work out what they're doing on the recording so I can emulate it. I can never quite get it right. So strumming is another one. It's all learned. I've got lessons for this I've got so many lessons for this. It's not even funny. Here on YouTube, just type in YourGuitarSage strumming. Okay, Shitty Pigeon 76 is saying, learning to play Road Trippin' by Red Hot Chili Peppers, one of my favorite songs. It's quite a fast song and has some difficult parts in the intro of Whitesnake's Sailing Ships. So again, if you haven't learned anything so far in this video, hopefully you've learned that these are impossible things. These were impossible hurdles for people that they've overcome. There is nothing that you cannot do. Okay, so what's this? Farum, let's see if I'm pronouncing that right. Farha Samir is saying the dreaded bar chords. Finally can play them in songs. Yippee, feels like the greatest achievement. Indeed, once bar chords open up for you, my gosh, you can do so much. It's absolutely crazy. Bar chords really open things up. You don't have to know bar chords. You can play a lot with open chords and using the capo like I teach in my free course, YourGuitarSage.com/30. But here on YouTube, if you need some more help with bar chords, type in YourGuitarSage bar chords. I've got a 2-part series where I have a crazy Fu Manchu, and I will help you with understanding that. Also, the effing F chord. Okay, here we go. Tank Man. The hardest thing for me would have to be finger speed, but I've gotten better and still improving. Speed. Everybody's trying to go for speed, right? What I always tell folks is go for accuracy. You will never be fast before you're accurate. And if you think about speed, you're just going to get frustrated because you can never be as fast as you want to be, but you can be accurate. And accuracy leads to speed. You cannot become fast without being accurate. And you definitely will become fast by becoming accurate, if that makes any sense, okay? But when we focus on speed, it will frustrate you. But if you're just worried about accuracy, the speed is a byproduct of being accurate. Okay, great. Being able to fit daily practice into my schedule, Michael's saying, yep, that's an obstacle for sure. It's a hurdle. We've got to learn to cut that time out, you know. Learning every guitar bit to 25 or 6 to 4. The famous song by Chicago, right? 25 or 6 to 4. I play that song at least once a day for all the lessons it provides. A lot. I first attempted this song almost 2 years ago, and now, and even now when I play it, it feels like 98% was correct. And that's a great thing to do, is practice to those songs. When it's called standing on the shoulders of giants. Think about it. If you're trying to emulate Jimmy Page, right? You've got to make it sound like him. You've got a template. You have something to aim for. And anything less than that, your ear typically is going to be like, well, that's not it yet. So it's going to constantly make you strive for this, okay? And if you can do that, then you're standing on the shoulders of giants, as they say, because you're learning from the best of the best, right? And where can you go from there? Only up, right? Great, great stuff. Okay, Okay, here we go. Matt Matonen is saying, in the start, bar chords felt impossible. Did they feel impossible to you, my friends? You notice there's a trend here. Bar chords, right? There's a lot of bar chords. They never sounded clear, but now they do, so great. Love it. Here we go. Tim Pendergast is saying, my biggest hurdle was the bar chords, which took a lot of practice every day making the shapes. Even when I didn't have my guitar with me, which, by the way, there's two things to bar chords. Number one is understanding the mechanics of it, and that's the I won't say the hardest part. That part is actually fairly easy to do once you understand the mechanics of it. And then it's understanding how that one form will create hundreds and hundreds of chords, like I teach in the 2-part series that I have on bar chords. I practice on the fretboard 20 minutes per day, barring with my index finger up and down the neck for a while, and then trying E shapes up and down the neck. When I didn't have a guitar, I would do silly stuff like holding my steering wheel while driving. I talk about this stuff all the time, or pinching the gas pump lever, or doing anything else that I could with just my last 2 fingers, etc. One thing I would say is grab a capo. Do I have one here? Yes, I've got a million of them. Is to take a capo, and you can exercise your hand like that. It's a great method and a great bit to use. Tuning drop C, scales, picking patterns. So when you, so Sydney is saying this, Sydney Michelle, when you obviously change the tuning of your guitar, you have to learn all these different patterns, you know? So, Leanne Hoffman saying, really learning the notes from the 5th fret to the 12th fret and beyond. This means reading the notes and my hand not automatically going to the first 4 frets. Learning to play guitar is going one step at a time and being patient. Thank you, Leanne. You have the key, not only to playing guitar, but to doing anything right in life. One step at a time and being patient. If you're one of those people who are like, no, I'm going to skip some steps and I do things fast and that's how I do things. But then you're someone who doesn't do things accurately and you're probably not getting to your goals and you're probably frustrated. I don't know of anybody that doesn't achieve success by doing things step by step and being patient. You can not be as patient if you put a lot more time into it. So instead of practicing 1 hour a day, practicing 10 hours a day or 18 hours a day. People have done it. Zach Wilde and a bunch of amazing guitar players, and it's obvious that they've done this, okay, that they've become so great. All right, I want to keep going with these because you guys have these such great titles. I just absolutely love it. I mean, such great bits and pieces. I'm sorry, I was reading another bit here. Thank you so much for adding this. You're not just helping me to understand you, you're helping other people. You understand that. When you write this stuff, other people are seeing it. They're not just like, oh, that guy's selling a course, and so of course he's going to say it's easy. These are real people. I mean, that would be a real pain in the butt for me to create all these accounts and to go in and create fake comments. These are real people saying that these are the problems, right? So you know this. So understand, the walk away from this is that there is nothing impossible on the guitar if you understand how to do it, right? You got to have the resources, and then you practice, and you put that into practice. All right, my friends, I like asking questions that help other people and that help the community. So are you ready for the next one? Here it is. What is the most powerful concept you've learned on the guitar, okay, and why? Again, what is the most powerful concept you've learned on the guitar and why? What I'm looking for now is I'm looking for one concept. If you want to put two, that's fine, but try to keep it down to one because chances are somebody else is going to hit your concept. And I would like to see what really comes to mind. What is the concept that was absolutely a groundbreaker for you? Okay, and then explain why. Because if you just say bar chords and someone sees bar chords, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna study bar chords. But if you're like me and you know the why, and somebody says, oh, bar chords, because what it allowed me to do is add 300 chords to my vocabulary overnight. Okay, well that gives me motivation because now I have a specific reason as to why I need to learn bar chords now. So, one more time, what is the most powerful concept that you have learned on the guitar and why? I'll give you my answer in the next YGS Reacts, my friends. Thank you so much for this. Love you guys. Leave your comments below. Let's have some fun.